Rosie the Realtor here with Welcome Wednesday, and today we welcome Brandon Ferguson to our show. Hey, Brandon,
How are y'all doing?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I am good. Sitting here working through some options for some clients.
Yeah,
Always
awesome,
lovely to talk with you.
awesome. Well, thank you for joining us today. Sorry about that. And Brandon, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am born and raised here in Clarksville. I've been in the lending world for going on 20 years now. Recently made a move to open this branch at Synergy One Lending, which I know we'll chat about a little bit.
Yeah,
Um, got it's either at the office or at some sports complex because my wife and I we have three beautiful children that are all in some activity. So we're
of
either at a
course.
baseball field, soccer field, horseback ride, whatever it is, we're doing something. So we stay busy, but that's how I prefer it. So yeah.
Very good, very good. Well, yeah, tell me a little bit about your business and this big move you did recently.
Yeah, so I opened this branch in about April, latter part of April this year. We have grown to six team members overall, including myself. So I manage a
Awesome.
couple loan officers. I got a couple of team members that help us in either helping people get pre-approved and getting under contract to once they're under contract, getting to the closing table. And just we try to provide a high level of experience for the client.
Mhm.
Buying a house can be extremely stressful, as you know, and
Yes.
people can get overwhelmed by all the moving parts to it and don't realize, I think, how many moving parts are involved in buying a house. And so, not only with myself, because I'm not the lender that passes off to the team and then I disappear in the process either. Like I say hi on the front and then you don't see me again until closing. I'm heavily involved. But having that team aids in providing a higher level of service, making sure we stay efficient. And so I got a real good group around me with some quality people, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I know very much about that when you have people dedicated to certain roles versus, like many of us realtors have to wear all these hats. So that's definitely a huge benefit to clients. Awesome one. Tell me, give me a story or reason why I know why you moved, and I absolutely agree with why you
Sure.
move. But tell me why someone should use you when there's so many lenders out there to choose from.
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of options across the board, and most people don't realize that. Like, let's say you bank with a certain bank, so you just assume you'll do a mortgage with your bank. But the problem a lot of people don't realize is those departments aren't as dialed in, it seems like, as the rest of the banking world for some reason.
Yes.
And so when you go through this process, you want to be able to understand what's going on. So right out the gate from the pre-approval stage, we're talking about not only interest rates, which are obviously a hot button issue always, but let alone on top of that, what's your monthly payment going to be? What sales price does that translate to? As they're looking at houses with you, Rosie, like what do they have to pay attention to from a lender's perspective on negotiating, closing costs, like what's all important, what's allowed to be asked for, what can't be asked for. And so if we can shorten that learning curve in the beginning and help build a lot of comfort and be a resource when somebody sees a crazy TikTok video or reads something funky on Google and it puts up a lot of scare and fear into like buying a house, we can let them go like, hey, that's actually not going to apply to you at all. Like your scenario is
Yeah.
this because we're in a big military community, right? VA loans are our bread and butter. And so you could have five E4s all looking to buy a house at the exact same time, and each experience, process, what's capable can be different, even though they're all utilizing a VA loan. Because there's so much that goes into it, right? Credit, income, all that stuff,
Absolutely.
debts, all that applies, right? So I enjoy taking the time, educating, letting them know the full picture. And then as they throughout the process as questions come up, we're here to answer them. We do that high level of communication, as you know, with
Yeah.
you as the agent. So you can actually take care of your client. Like I know you go above and beyond to want to make sure questions are answered and that your client feels comfortable and that we're all on the same page because it's a team sport, right? Me, you, the buyer, the
Absolutely.
seller, the listing agent, we
Absolutely.
house move from the seller, the buyer's name, so the buyer can enjoy the home. There's so many moving parts that go along with that. So we are to make sure people are educated, understand, get what they need, get competitive pricing, and get a good deal on the house, and just be a good team effort to all that.
Absolutely. And finding the right team, because I know I can attest to already working with you of, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with you having that team of you being on it, staying on top of things, being able to communicate. And one thing I do want to touch on, which kind of has to do why you did the move, is well, I absolutely know and believe some banks have great products. I personally have always kind of been more towards brokers, which is what you are now, because like you said, every client is different. And for me, I want to make sure I'm putting my client in the best program, and working obviously with a broker like you have access to so many programs versus someone going to all your, standard storefront
Yeah,
banks.
yeah.
Well, what do you have to offer? Where do you, where you're like a one-stop shop, and it's like, hey, I think this is the best product. And simple things like that. A lot of buyers are confused right now, and they're just showing up to open houses unqualified, not really know where to start, or going to their bank. And it's like, well, is that really your best option? So, yeah, I definitely can attest to that, and excited for you in your move. Um, and
Oh,
then
I appreciate that.
yeah. And then
Yeah,
you
I was just gonna elaborate.
don't,
Oh, sorry, I'm
go ahead.
jumping. Got me all nervous on camera. No, so to elaborate, yeah. So what I've got now is the best of both worlds. I have the retail space where we are very streamlined on how we operate. It's also given me the ability to be more scalable, which will show the other states that I'm plugged into as well now, which is great because the military community and so many people PCS and they move to these other states, do bases and everything. And their past clients, and we would help them find other lenders. Well, now we can be that lender. It's pretty easy for me to add those states. So that's been a huge plus. But you're right. Between our mainstream products to the ability to offer some unique things on top of it that I had a lot of options before. I have even more now, it feels like. And so, for example, VA assumptions, hot button topic, right? That listing gets put out there, absorb the 2.5% interest rate, but like it's a $400,000 house with a $200,000 mortgage. What people don't
Yes.
realize with that assumption is you're only assuming the 200 grand. Now there's still 200K that has to be made up for the seller to want to close this deal, right? And so we have a program that helps close that gap. It doesn't cover all of it, but it basically pulls it to like a 10% down loan versus I've got to come up with 200 grand. Maybe I come up with 40K in that scenario. So we're seeing a lot more opportunity for people to have these front end mortgages at the super low VA rates and have an opportunity to still not liquidate everything they've worked for to get that
Absolutely.
house. So I know with your husband being a financial advisor and being in that space, like that's important. We don't want to be moving money and liquidating everything if we don't have to. That is for our future. And so we want to make sure we're taken care of. So we've got those kind of things to like, I'm closing a deal right now where a gentleman doesn't have technically a job right now. He's gotten some funds. He doesn't have employment. He's taking care of some family, and we're able to get that deal done. And so on top of the bread and butter VA, FHA, conventional USDA, all the
Yes.
fundamental stuff, we do have these unique programs that have allowed. I think I've closed about helped 8 more families get into homes that I would not have been able to have that access to beforehand. And so that's really fun as well too.
Awesome.
I do like being, like you said, kind of the one-stop shop of like we can almost handle anything that comes our way, even go beyond that kind of stuff. But yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's those, those creative loans where a lot of times when they go to just a one shop bank, they can't do those. It's,
yeah,
certain banks are known, I'm great for this kind of loan or this kind of loan. I'm like, well, sometimes
yeah,
we don't know what's going to come up when we pull credit or income. So
very,
that's awesome. And
very,
I brought up your, because I see you're actually licensed in you were talking about this already, but you personally are licensed in multiple states, as we see here.
yep.
Um, so that's exciting. Being able to obviously help people in multiple areas if they're moving, coming here from Florida or moving to Florida, you're able to, get in there.
Yeah, it's been massive because we have so many, like I said, past clients that loved us the first time, that would have loved to use us again, and now they can. I was in 5 states before I made the move. I'm in about 11 as it shows now. And that's just because it's a lot easier for me to scale because my company is in 49 states, everything but New York. So, like, we offer home equity lines of credit. I technically can offer those in all 49 states because of those programs of licensing. But for the main loans, I'm in about 11. And so it's awesome to be able to in Washington State or North Carolina or Colorado. There's some of the last 3 that I've added. We got the past clients reaching out saying, hey, I want to refi, or we're about to move here and I want to purchase. Like now we can personally help them again. And that's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And that Colorado, Florida is one of those states where we've seen people move here and then right back out and vice versa. So,
You're not wrong. You're not
oh, it
wrong.
didn't work out here. Let's try it again.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But well, I'm seeing that. I mean, I'm one that, transferred here 3 years ago, and I see people coming and going. So I'm part of all those groups. And it's like some people, it was a great move. Some, it wasn't. I don't know what they
It
did
wasn't
or
the right
didn't
fit or
expect.
whatever.
And
Yep.
definitely any big move is not easy, but we all do it for different reasons. And
For
um,
sure.
yeah. So, Brandon, if someone wanted to get a hold of you directly, what is the best way?
Yeah, so I would say, I mean, my cell phone's right there, 931-237-0385. That is the best way. Call or text first. You can go online. We have the nice thing about Synergy too is we're very tech friendly. And so we have
I've
a nice
noticed.
app that allows you to start the process, work through it. But we're not just, hey, pass it off and hopefully you hear from somebody. Like you're directly connected with me. I'm directly paying attention for when your application comes through. I call you back. Like we're very hands on. So we have the ability to leverage the technology to make it a lot easier for people to start the process and get rolling with their schedules. But at the same time, they're not just going to get some random person once it comes through, like who we tie to and who we begin with. So I always love starting out with a quick call. That allows us to kind of set a baseline, get some parameters, really know the client's needs and wants from the lending world. And then we can then turn around, pass that information back to the agent. And that allows it to make it a lot smoother process. So everybody's on the same page, so when we're looking at houses, everybody's tracking what the goals are and what the ability to approve and all that kind of stuff is for. So it's really helped a lot, and the clients have not had issues walking through it, which is great because that's always a nervous part is when you bring in
Yes.
technology. Is it going to be easy to use? Can everybody get what they want? And I've had no complaints over the 7 months I've been here. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. And Lord knows it's frustrating to, if you I won't say any names, but like when you go to the
for sure.
bank and they send you online, you do your application, you get a call from a loan officer, you're trying to get a hold of them, and other random people call you. Not that some of them don't have great products, but
Yeah, agreed.
I know from a client's perspective, if they want to call their lender or their realtor, they want their lender or the realtor to
Yeah.
answer, not Susie that you can't understand and who knows what country, right?
Well, not only that, but
That's
like,
our
are they up to
reality.
date on your file? Or are they just trying to look at notes to then answer questions versus like me and you or
Yes.
me and my team? Like, we had the conversation directly. So we do actually recall that conversation. You go, oh, yeah, we can do this. Or I remember you saying you're going to get these gifts funds from a family member. So this is how
Yes.
all that's going to tie together and all that. So, yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely. Well, awesome. Well, Brandon, thank you so much for your time for coming up on here, and hopefully we'll have you on here again.
That sounds great, Rosie. I appreciate it.
Thank you.